So this is the third of our videos looking at measurement of body symmetry, and we're going to concentrate on measurement of the chest. So you'll have seen from the previous videos that it's important that we have a level pelvis when we're coming to measure the chest. If someone's in the optimal start position, the pelvis will already be level. If we had to make an adaptation because the person has some asymmetry, then we will have recorded that adaptation and we will have achieved a level pelvis. So I want you to imagine that you've got that crook lying here, but we're just going to concentrate now. I'm going to ignore the legs and I'm going to concentrate now here at the chest. So what we find when we, the reason for the level pelvis, if we have movement, if the pelvis is not level, then it will influence the chest. And you can see that for yourself. If you lie on your back and you take your legs over, you can feel the movement that comes into your chest. So that's why we need the level pelvis. So then what we're looking for is we're looking for the distance between xiphoid process, which is this little bit here, this notch at the bottom here, and the lateral border. So when we talk about the lateral border, we're not thinking of, say, a soft tape or something running down to the supporting surface, because the problem with chest distortion, if someone has a distorted chest, it may be that they have a rib flare on one side. That means that when we measure from side to side, here we would be coming across a flattened chest, and here we're coming over a rib distortion, and it would just give us numbers that really don't mean anything. So instead, we have two vertical bars that come in and a horizontal bar. And what we're looking for is the distance between the xiphoid process and the lateral border, so the edge of the chest. So we're looking on the right and on the left. And then we're looking for the overall depth of the chest. And what we do is we take those numbers, so we take the depth of the chest and we divide it by the width, and that will give us a ratio which should be between 0.65 and 0.85. If the chest is too flat, like this, then we'll end up with numbers that are lower than 0.65. And if the chest is too deep, like this, we will end up with numbers that are closer to 1. Okay, so the greater the number, the rounder you are, and the lower the number, the flatter you are. When we come to look at the lateral border, the measurement between xiphoid process and lateral border, if we have somebody who is symmetrical, we take this number, the right, and we divide it by the left. So we have a right-left ratio. And what we find is that if the person is symmetrical, then that answer will be 1. If, however, the answer is more than 1, greater than 1, then it means we're looking at clockwise rotation of the chest, because this number is smaller than that number, and so the number that we get when we divide right by left is going to be 1 point something. So clockwise rotation. And if we go the other way, then we'll have 0 point something as our right-left ratio. And we'll have anti-clockwise rotation in the chest. So what we're looking for is the characteristics of the chest in terms of depth and width, and characteristics of the chest in terms of rotation. And we can pick up very, very early on, before we start to see big changes in the spine, we'll start to pick up those changes at the front of the chest.